The man picked up his glass and gave it a gentle swirl, instantly turning plain water into red wine. He wasn't a magician, he was the kind of guy every magician absolutely despised. He opened his palm, revealing red dye hidden in his hand. This elderly black man used to be a magician himself, but finding the money too slow, he broke the code and became a full-time magic debunker. Musk led Banner back to yesterday's crime scene to reveal how the four horsemen had pulled off a remote bank heist from thousands of miles away. He had Banner put on a helmet and step onto the magic door. When his assistant hit the switch, Banner dropped straight into the vault. Turns out, the four horsemen had recreated the bank vault underneath the stage at a 1-to-1 scale, and the seemingly random audience member had been set up during the drawing. The Frenchman had been their target from the start. Through repeated hypnotic suggestions from the four horsemen, he traveled from Paris to Las Vegas, sat in a specific seat for the show, and unknowingly became the lucky volunteer. As for how the money disappeared from the Paris bank, that part was a bit of a stretch. The four horsemen had hidden underneath an armored truck beforehand, then hypnotized the driver and swapped real cash for counterfeit bills made from magic flash paper, which they burned up in the vault without leaving any smell or ash. And just like that, the entire heist was complete. But this was all Musk's theory. There was no hard evidence. They'd have to wait for the four horsemen's second show to see if they could catch them slipping. This time, the magic was even more intense than the remote bank robbery. Hypnotist Bert had the entire audience write down their bank account balances in envelopes and hold them up to their foreheads. The big boss Arthur was also invited on stage, and being a billionaire, his envelope naturally had to be bigger. His balance was a cool $140 million. Next, Carter had the audience shine small flashlights on their envelopes. Within seconds, they discovered that the balances they'd written down had magically gained several digits. Meanwhile, the wealthy man's giant check was steadily decreasing. Arthur started to panic. He knew the four horsemen's tricks were for real. Sure enough, audience members started getting texts from their banks confirming that large sums had indeed been deposited into their accounts. It turned out that everyone in attendance that night had been insured by Arthur's insurance company, and after filing claims, had been screwed over by his legal team's loopholes and never received proper compensation. So the real purpose of this performance was a Robin Hood act, robbing the rich to help the poor. After pulling off this feat, the four horsemen prepared to exit, and Banner rushed the stage to make an arrest. But suddenly, he was tackled by a dozen audience members. Before the show, Bert had hypnotized them so that hearing the words, "Don't move," would trigger a specific response. Left with no choice, Banner could only watch helplessly as the four escaped.